Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Stand Your Ground Saturday here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and we are joined by Soulless Ginger, aka Corey.
How's it going, peoples?
For today's episode, we're going to start a little new topic, which is basically, I used to just do these as just essentially a podcast, and now I'm actually going to do them as an actual review of self-defense cases, or cases we consider to be self-defense and stand your ground cases. And from there, it'll basically just be us breaking down the actual facts of the case and, what has come of it, so forth and so on and whatnot. So for today's episode, we're going to do the Daniel Perry case out of Texas. For those that don't know about Daniel Perry in 2020, during the Black Lives Matter riots, was basically driving a vehicle in downtown Austin, Texas for, I believe it was either Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that. And he pulled into an intersection that should have been clear, and a bunch of BLM jackasses ran up and started swarming his vehicle, including one guy named Garrett Foster, who happened to have a PSA AK at the time, and proceeded to point it at Perry's window to get him to roll down the window. And from there, you basically had Daniel pull his legally owned revolver that was in like 44 Magnum, I believe is what it was, and fire 5 shots, killing Garrett Foster in self-defense. Drove off. There's actually video evidence of all this. There's another person that was in that crowd that started firing off at Perry's car as he was driving off. Then Daniel called the cops after he got into a safe location by like a parking garage a couple blocks away, and was like, "Yeah, dude, I just had to use my gun in self-defense. Here's all the details of the case and whatnot." So the cops come out there and they're talking to him, and they took his revolver for a minute or so is what it was. Went over the whole thing for, I think it was like a week or so is what it was or so. Determined, yes, in fact, it was self-defense. Gave him back his gun. We're like, "You're good to go, bro. Everything's fine. You had castle doctrine, you had self-defense on your side. You were in your vehicle at the time. These people obviously swarmed your vehicle. There's all this evidence of it out here. We're not going to charge you with anything." So fast forward to November 2020, Jose Garza, a literal anchor baby in this country, who is also a Soros paid DA, gets into office there in Austin, Texas, and come January 2021, proceeds to then railroad Daniel Perry, charge him with first-degree murder of Garrett Foster, etc., and basically get him on trial with a BLM and Antifa jury that railroaded this man into prison now. And he's currently sitting in Texas State Prison awaiting a pardon from Greg Abbott. And that's where we're at
So
right now
how
with
the
this
fuck
case.
is that a jury of his peers when it's
not,
literally
obviously.
the enemy? Because that's bullshit. That's patenting the fucking jury to get your judgment you want.
Oh, yeah.
And two, the cops already cleared him of any wrongdoing, said it was self-defense. The fucking police, who enforced the law that they're supposed to anyways, and uphold the Constitution, and you get some piece of shit fucking dumbass district attorney, isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
To come in and try to imprison an innocent man when it's already been determined he was in the right. That right there shows how evil these motherfuckers are. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your constitutional rights. All they want to do is enslave us for their fucking benefit. They want us to be peasants. And that's a prime example, this right here. This pisses me off so fucking bad because I'm sorry, any sane person that gets surrounded by fucking would-be harm doers, which obviously we have many video evidence showing that when they surround a vehicle, they break windows, they rip people out of the cars and beat the shit out of them. A couple have been killed. And you're trying to criminalize a man because he didn't want to die, so he defended his life from possible harm for this bullshit fucking crowd. This guy can literally go fuck himself. He's a piece of shit and a sorry excuse for a human being.
Yes, Jose Garza does all those things. The thing about Jose Garza, too, before he even got into office, his entire platform was basically, I'm going to make sure that Daniel Perry pays for Garrett Foster's death. Like, that was the entire platform he was running on, was basically to charge this guy.
Why? It's self-defense. Clear-cut case.
Well, when you're a George Soros paid piece of shit, it makes a lot of sense, actually.
I'm sorry, I cannot think that stupid and that retarded. I cannot dumb down my intelligence to that level.
Yeah, I was trying to find the actual video of that night, but I can't seem to find it here. All I'm finding on this whole thing when I'm looking it up is May 30th, 2023, Daniel Perry murder trial, police body cam footage shown to jury. April 4th, 2023, Daniel Perry claims he killed Garrett Foster, BLM protester in self-defense, because he did. Oh, that was another thing that came out during the trial, was how apparently Perry was texting with a friend or something like that, and they claimed like the guy was like, oh yeah, I'm going to carry because fuck these BLM terrorists tonight or something like that kind of thing, and they're trying to like say that he was like essentially targeting these people is what it was then. Which is absolutely BS entirely. Yeah, pretty much. They tried to get him premeditated murders, but it was now. And yeah, 25 to life in prison.
That is him saying that it is needed to carry because terrorists are out, the domestic terrorists are
exactly
out in force, and I want to make sure I make it home to my family. That's what I read into it.
Yeah, then here's one, April 14, 2023. Daniel Perry supposedly made racist comments, threats before killing Garrett Foster. Which I think that was supposed to be some stuff between him and his friend, supposedly, but I don't believe that at all. That actually happened. May 10th, 2023, partner, Black Lives Matter protester killed by Daniel Perry, testifies that was the black chick that Garrett was actually his wife, who has, I think, I forget what the thing was she got. It was like some infection or something like that cost her legs. Mm-hmm. And that's what's even more retarded. Like, so Garrett Foster, mind you, this guy was he
was white, right?
But yeah, both were white guys. Garrett Foster and Daniel Perry were both military at some point. Foster, I believe, was a Air Force of some kind for like a couple years is what it was, and then he ended up being the primary caregiver for his wife there, who, first of all, your wife has no legs and she's in a wheelchair.
Why would you be out there?
Exactly. And as everybody else was saying, they're like, oh, he was out here to watch call it. But then it's funny, though, because you actually look into Garrett Foster's past there, and it was that night, literally about 10 minutes before the shooting, he is talking to, I don't know who the guy is that the interview or whatever, but he's specifically saying, because mind you, he has the mask on his face and everything at the time, and is literally caught saying, and I quote, that somebody asked him why he had the gun in that night, and he's like, oh, I got this out here because people are too big of a pussy to do anything if I have this. So he's literally threatening people with a firearm.
And taunting.
Yeah, like threatening, brandishing, taunting, everything else like that.
Yep.
And acting like he's all king shit or whatever. And apparently, I guess he was out there for at least 2 nights doing that too, by the way, from my understanding. And he got fucking got. He pointed a gun at somebody. They fucking freaked out. They were like, oh shit, he might shoot my ass. Pulls their own gun in self-defense. Bang, 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 bang. Drops to the fucking ground. Peels off. Somebody else, ding, ding, ding a couple times.
That tells me that that piece of shit was looking for trouble. He was looking to instigate an issue to where he had the excuse to use his little AK pistol on somebody. He was, in my opinion, he was out looking to murder.
Yeah, it's nothing different than that sack of shit Joseph Rosenbaum against Kyle Rittenhouse that night, where he was trying to grab Kyle's gun and take it from him.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit entirely.
So, was that piece of shit in lawful possession of that gun?
As far as I'm aware, I think he was. I don't think Garrett had a felony of any kind. But like I said, it doesn't really matter because, again, it's like the guy could have easily just been at home with his chick, chilling, doing whatever then. But instead, he's out on a fucking street corner, blocking traffic, by the way. Illegally obstructing flow of crime. Like, yeah, exactly. Misdemeanor in all 50 states at this point, at least. Blocking the roads, etc., with his dumbass buddies for no reason at all. Like, you could have just as easily dispersed the fucking crowd on either side of the thing, been peacefully fucking sitting on the sidewalk, whatever the case be, holding your little Black Lives Matter signs, etc. Maybe, like, have like a honk if you love Black Lives Matter or something like that. And yeah, I'm sure people would have came along and been like, honk, honk, kind of thing, whatever, and then just drove past. And it would have been fine. But instead, you wait for this man to literally make a legal turn into the fucking intersection there, and then start swarming his vehicle. Some of you were armed, obviously. And yet, they're trying to claim that he is the murderer in this case. Like, what the fuck?
No. My question is, why are they surrounding vehicles?
Exactly.
They are looking to harm or kill people because it's one thing to sit there and stand and protest something. When you surround a vehicle or a person, you are looking to do harm, at the very least intimidation. But you see far too many cases and examples that when they do this, they beat the shit out of people to a bloody pulp. A lot of them have died. Most of them have, long-term life defects, brain damage, broken bones, back, whatever, and they're all committing a crime just by, illegally fucking blocking the streets and stuff.
Yeah. And
So
even looking
they're
at the
in the
First
commission
Amendment
of
of
a
the
crime.
even looking at the First Amendment of the Constitution, it specifically states, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So here's the thing. You're peaceably assembling if you're on the sidewalk. You're not peaceably assembling if you're blocking a fucking intersection and committing like traffic laws and stuff. And trying to detain people illegally in some cases is what it seems like there. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit entirely. And the fact that Perry is sitting in prison at all right now is fucking ridiculous, to where you have to have, this is the story I found most recently here from a couple weeks ago, which is pardon for man convicted of killing Black Lives Matter protester under review. Says, Perry was convicted of murdering an armed protester, armed terrorist is what it was, in downtown Austin, Texas in April 2020. I thought it was actually after that, actually. And there was that idiot Garrett Foster right there in the picture with his wife. This is Austin, Texas. Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles has begun its clemency review, directed by Governor Greg Abbott in the case of Daniel Perry, who was convicted of murder in the shooting death of Black Lives Matter protester in 2020, that protester being Garrett Foster. Says multiple emails obtained by the local affiliate there. And the Austin American Statesman show board officials and Travis County DA Jose Garza are in the midst of conversations about when prosecutors can make a presentation to argue against the pardon. And like I said, if you look up Jose Garza here, let's go look at that whole thing actually, and we'll show a photo of this jackass right here. This is the fucking ass clown anchor baby paid by George Soros, who railroaded Daniel Perry right here.
Jesus Christ, it's so fucking un-American. Yeah. I just
the guy looks like a fucking cartel lawyer, honestly, in many of these pictures.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
The guy looks like Hitler in this one, actually, a little bit.
I don't understand why, almost said Trump, but why Abbott hasn't just already said, okay, you're pardoned. Yeah, exactly. What is taking so motherfucking long? I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, this dude clearly defended his life in self-defense. The police have already came out and said, no, this man is innocent. What is the fucking holdup, Abbott?
Exactly.
And I hope to God that when he gets pardoned, if he does, he sues the ever-loving shit out of the city and the district attorney.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He needs to sue everybody in that situation, including BLM and et cetera there. And I would say the family Garrett Foster, too, on that one for emotional distress and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And reparations, reparations, because he has been harmed. His family has been harmed.
Yep.
What if he was the sole breadwinner for his family? Could have lost everything.
Well, this is the thing. He was an active sergeant in the military when this happened, and he got his fucking military credentials stripped away from him now because of this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a revelation that the board is now actively considering a possible pardon for Perry, a former Army sergeant and self-avowed racist. I don't believe that one. Could reignite the political firestorm in the case, and some view the effort to undo Perry's conviction in the death of Garrett Foster as a political maneuver that undermines the justice system, says the people who literally railroaded this man using fucking political maneuvers. So others see it as correcting an injustice, said board general counsel Betty Wells wrote Garza on February 7th that the board would look to meet with prosecutors in late March or early April, and that, quote, we will move forward with interviews, meetings, and other persons and schedule a time to meet with you and your staff afterwards. Said separately that local affiliate has confirmed that former Austin police detective David Frugit, who investigated the case and deemed the shooting justified, met with the board in January. Says Whitney Mitchell, Foster's fiance, also met once her chance to be heard. Says Mitchell was with Foster the night of the death in 2020. Case centered on whether Perry was justified in shooting Foster, who had a rifle on him, was literally pointing at him at the time, by the way. Says Abbott asked the board to expedite the review in the case, saying that the conviction violated the state stand your ground law. Prosecutors argued that Perry instigated the incident by driving into the protest, yet it was actually the protesters blocking traffic that instigated the whole thing, and documented in a nominee towards the social justice movement, which is absolute bullshit entirely. Go ahead.
That statement doesn't make any sense because
No, it doesn't.
Hasn't it already been proven that he was legitimately working and he went
he was
down
doing
that
Uber
road
driving
because
stuff.
He had a drop off down that road?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So how did he illegally turn down a road looking for trouble when he was working?
Exactly. Well, the thing is, and of course they failed to point out the fact that you had like 30 or 40 people blocking the fucking road and the traffic at that point.
Yeah.
In a major thoroughfare in Austin, Texas.
You know, if this would have happened in any other city besides Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, like the big in Houston, the big, this wouldn't have happened. He would have already been found innocent and this thing would have been put to bed. But because it happened in Austin, which is a liberal fucking Democrat shithole, that's just a mini California, a mini New York, a mini Chicago, that, of course you're going to get railroaded because in that area you don't have juries of your peers.
Yeah. As it says here, it said Greg Abbott sought the request from the board after, quote, ultra-conservative voices such as Tucker Carlson and Kyle Rittenhouse demanded the pardon. Under Texas law, the board must issue a recommendation before the governor can act. In a statement, the board said in part that they're still in the process of investigating Daniel Perry for a possible pardon. A recommendation to the governor upon completion of the investigation and vote. The decision of the board of pardons and paroles will be available. The 7-member board is appointed by Abbott. There is no timeline for when the decision will be made. Perry was sentenced to 25 years in prison. In addition to possibly being freed, a pardon would also allow him to run for office and vote, among other rights restored, as it should. As his 2 areas should be short on that one, too, as well.
Yep. Question.
Huh.
How long has it been since the shooting?
It was April of 2020, so it's almost 4 years now to the day.
Okay, so you fast forward, what was it, about maybe 6 months or a few months after?
It was like January, February of 2021 was when he got, when Garza went after him for the murder then.
Okay. I don't understand, why is it taking so long for this process to get to Abbott so he can issue a pardon on this man?
Well, the thing was, it took it was not until like, I think last year when they actually charged him with murder then is what it was. Like the actual murder trial happened. So it was like almost 3 years after the fact then. And even that right there should tell you how much of an injustice it is, because if he was really a murderer, like why would he not have been, first of all, why would the cops not have been like, oh yeah, dude, we're going to arrest you for capital murder or whatever the case be that night?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of it being, 10, 12 months, or actually, about 10 months later, give or take, when fucking dipshit Jose Garza gets into the DA's office and it's like, okay, now we're going to charge this motherfucker with murder now. One of ours. That's all it is.
A coordinated attack on free American citizens that are exercising their God-given fucking rights, and that they're on the opposite side. They're fucking hardcore leftists, nut jobs. They hate us having rights and freedoms, and they're trying to make an example out of him that, oh, look, we're going to come after all of you because we don't like what you stand for.
Exactly.
Was, not that this really matters, but was Perry a Christian?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Like I said, it doesn't matter.
I know his parents went on an interview the other day, and they were talking about it recently, and I forget. I should have tried to grab that interview, actually. I saw it in a thing here the other day. It was basically him talking. It was his parents talking to somebody about it, and they were like, yeah, why is our son still, in jail right now, in prison, for defending himself versus a BLM terrorist?
Exactly. And also, I guarantee the reason why you can't find the video that happened of that night is
they probably scrubbed it.
They're scrubbing it. They're suppressing it because it will show Exactly. That piece of
Mhm.
shit broke the law and was threatening bodily harm to Perry, and Perry acted in
Well,
self-defense.
the thing is, the
They don't
video
want
I'm
them.
talking about in question, it doesn't actually show like him like right at the door or everything like that. It's like maybe like 20 feet away, somebody's filming, but it shows like the show. You can hear like the gunshots in the background. You can hear like the aftermath of like the car peeling out and then somebody else shooting after the fact or whatever too.
I distinctly remember seeing
So
video much closer.
okay, well there might have been one that's like from somebody else that was on the BLM side or something like that. Who knows?
And also, I want to say
So
that Perry himself filmed it because I want to say, I swear to God, I saw it from the inside where you can see the guy
maybe
pointing the AK at him.
I knew that they did a reenactment, so maybe that's what it was.
No, this was an actual
Okay, I,
video
I
from
don't know
inside the
then. Yeah, I
car.
know, I know, I know. I saw like a reenactment from the trial where it was them showing like the different things. And it was people trying to like tear it apart or pull it forward, whatever it was there. So I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking
I don't
crazy,
know.
man.
Like we've already stated,
And
they love to scrub videos that
yeah,
so people don't see the truth,
hmm,
so they can get their narrative and their agenda
oh yeah, oh yeah,
pushed through.
yep. And it's absolutely disgusting, is what it is. And it's just sad that we've come to this point in history that I want to say honestly, I want to go kind of Rodney King on this one and be like, can't we all just get along, kind of thing, But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you just have people that want to be opportunistic and further their own agenda and career and everything else. Like that's what it is. Then
I would love for us all to
so
get along, but the fucking hardcore leftists, they do not want that.
no,
So they are constantly sowing division
hmm,
amongst everybody to keep the masses distracted from all the
hmm,
bullshit they're trying to ram through into law
yeah,
that's going to ultimately harm the American citizens. But
yeah,
people are so
exactly.
fucking stubborn and pig-headed and focused on the
Hmm,
bullshit instead of looking at the bigger picture.
yeah, and that's the problem right there. Is they rather just go after their own crap than actually go and look at everything from the perspective of, hey, like this is obviously not right. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a sad situation all the way around, and I think unfortunately we're definitely seeing very much injustices all the way around here because and as we even said, when you look at our actual founding documents, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. So in reality, a jury of Daniel Perry's peers should have been either active or even ex-military guys that were gun owners in this country. That's not what he got. He got a bunch of BLM and Antifa leftists, is what it was then. That made up that jury. So that alone is not even an actual jury of peers or a fair trial for that matter. And any good lawyer worth a grain of salt at that point should argue on that one alone. Be like, yeah,
Yeah,
this guy
and
was railroaded and appeal on that one.
that was a question I was going to pose a while ago. I just didn't want to interrupt your flow.
Yeah.
But being that he was an active duty sergeant in the United States military,
Uh huh.
why hasn't Jag got on board and helped defend him instead of kicking him out and stripping him of everything? Why
Yeah.
is the military lawyers not backing him and helping him in his defense?
It's a damn good question. And I think the answer to that is what we saw before, which is basically our government doesn't give a fuck anymore. If they can sit there and screw you over, they will. It's just like everything else, We look at the fucking VA, how fucked it is right now. They won't even help these guys at all, and then they wonder why, the hell. I mean, you had that one guy the other day or not the other day, but it was a few months ago now, where he was crying outside the VA hospital, and he's like, "Do I have to walk in here and just kill myself in front of these people because they won't do their job and help me out?" And I think he
Oh
actually
yeah,
did kill himself then.
it's so fucking sad, dude. The
Yeah,
VA is beyond screwed the fuck up. I
yeah,
actually, in one of my previous jobs, where I was a medical transporter,
mm-hmm,
basically I was a non-emergency ambulance. I
mm-hmm,
transported patients without giving care. I used to have to take uh, veterans to the VA and just listening to them tell stories about the VA and their experiences and what they have to go through. Just fucking, it breaks my heart.
Yep.
And it pisses me off to no extent because we should fucking give everything to our veterans because they gave a lot of them gave everything, including their life, to serve our fucking country. And we are treating them like they're just fucking dog shit scum on the bottom of our boots.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. And yeah, I think that's the biggest problem entirely right now is you should have everybody up in arms over this whole case, but yet nobody really is except for the leftists that are like, oh, we need to get more justice.
Justice for what?
For their dead comrade.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry
what it is,
that
actually,
one of your
legitimately.
piece of shit domestic terrorist buddies got fucking capped for playing stupid games and receiving stupid prizes.
Yeah.
He fucked around and found out, and it cost him his life. And justice was served that night.
Yeah.
True
And
justice.
The worst thing is, as far as my understanding is, going back to the railroading in that case, the actual video evidence of Foster admitting that he was out there to do like terroristic shit that night was not allowed to be played in court. So it's like, how is that not suppression of evidence for that matter? When you actually have the guy admitting like 5 to 10 minutes before that shooting that he was trying to fuck around with people is what it was.
That is beyond bullshit. There is no reason why they suppress any kind of fucking evidence, whether if it's strong or weak. If you have evidence, fucking put it forth. That right there is just showing that they're bullshit, that they're just trying to railroad this guy. Because if the jury wouldn't see all the evidence, they may not have convicted this dude. Although it was a leftist fucking jury pool, apparently, from what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not even mattered, but
Yeah.
it would matter in an appeal, and it would matter in a higher court if you wanted to take this case all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yep. And that's exactly it right there. And I think that's exactly why they won't do it, because they know for a fact it would allow for a pardon or allow for a better appeal that would get them off on appeals, what it is then. So, yeah, it's just a really... It's a terrible situation, because I think it's one of these situations that we're going to see happen again this summer, because we all know, every election cycle, what does the left love to do? They love to fucking stir up division. They love to create rioting, etc., to do shit. And we've seen it for years now. We saw it back in, I'm trying to think what year it was, like 2012 or 16, whenever that Castillo guy was killed. They did it that year. They obviously did it in 2020 with George Floyd. Now they're going to try and do it in 2024 with somebody else, probably, most likely. So,
yeah, but that right there, the whole the Castillo case, that was murder. That cop should be in
that
prison
was,
for
and
murder.
they even said after the fact, after the jury trial and everything else like that, guy got off and stuff, that there was another, I forget if it was the car dash cam or there was some kind of other cam that was not shown in court over that night. And they said specifically, had that been shown, he would have not got off. He would have definitely been charged with some kind of like involuntary manslaughter or second-degree murder or whatever it was then. So, yeah, that one definitely was 100% bullshit then on that case. Especially when you're telling the guy like, oh yeah, just, go ahead and pull the gun out.
That was
It's
bullshit.
like, no, it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a great reason to have, if you're going to be, if you're going to be stopped in the traffic stop, to always be recording somehow is what it is then. Like from the get-go, don't wait and fucking record after the fact, like his girlfriend did. Like, had she been recording the entire situation, she might have actually gotten enough evidence there to make sure that cop was charged with murder then. So, anyway, but then, of course, we got another one that's not really stand your ground related per se, but it does have to do locally here, which is we're finally going to get the trial for ex-Franklin County cop Jason Meade underway producing, if I'm not mistaken, or it already has started, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the murder of Casey Goodson Jr. And Casey was actually one of us. He was one of these concealed carry guys who was doing everything right that day, and this piece of shit Meade straight up lied and was like, oh no, I saw the dude flash a gun that nobody else somehow saw, that when there was like 50 fucking cops out there looking for somebody else entirely, and wants to act like Casey was a fucking criminal and stuff like that when he obviously wasn't. Even though it's been proven now that Meade himself was a raging racist piece of shit, basically. So, and actually I was talking to my sister about that recently the other day, and she was saying how, from what she's seen on her own, like there's a lot of fucking racist cops in the Democrat areas of this state, actually.
Oh hell yeah!
So,
Dude, I watch a lot of fucking 1 and 2-way videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I just see that bullshit constantly, and it's so fucking infuriating. They want to call white people terrorist, or not terrorist, racist and everything, when I see far more white people being the subject of racism.
Yeah. Yep. Well, in that particular case, though, Meade was actually a white cop, and Casey was actually a young black dude, so...
In another case I can bring up, you know, about racist pig cops and just crooked, all of it can apply, is I can't remember the name. I'm sure you'll spit it out rather quickly. It was fucking the Islamic motherfucker who shot that woman in her pajamas that reached across his partner's face.
Yeah, it's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He was the first Islamic cop, is what it was there.
I was trying to refrain from using vulgar language to describe the person. So that's why I said it the way I said it. Because I don't want you to get dinged or anything by what I say, because I really want to say something else. But yeah, that right
here
there.
you go.
I mean,
Ex-Minnesota police officer sentenced to 57 months in jail for killing of the woman that called 911 that night. Fucking disgusting.
It should be life. It should be life in prison.
You're talking about less than 5 years. Well, yet meanwhile, Daniel Perry's getting 25.
Yeah, for self-defense. When that piece of shit Minnesota cop, that was straight up
and this
murder.
Is this asshole right here, who the fucking mayor at the time touted out as being the first Muslim fucking cop on the force. Yeah, it was Justine.
So they admitted to quota hires. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 2017. Let's see if I can find the actual. Okay, now we know that woman's name. So let's go Justine. There we go. Damon. Here we go. 2017. Yeah. A 40-year-old Australian-American woman was fatally shot by 31-year-old Somali-American Minnesota police officer Mohammed Nawar after she called 911 to report a possible assault of a woman in an alley behind her home, occurring weeks after a high-profile manslaughter trial acquittal in the 2016 killing of Castile. So it was 2016 then. Said also in Minnesota, St. Paul metropolitan area, the shooting exacerbated existing tensions and attracted national and international press, as it should. In April 2019, Nawar was tried before a jury on charges of second-degree murder, should have been first-degree, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Nawar claimed self-defense, which is absolute bullshit. You literally pulled a gun out and just blew this woman's fucking brains out, pretty much. So the jury convicted Nawar of third-degree murder and second-degree murder, but he was acquitted on charges of intentional second-degree murder. Said in June 2019, Nawar was sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison. His conviction on third-degree murder was overturned by the Minnesota Supreme Court in September 15, 2021. In October 2021, his sentence was revised to 4.75 years in prison with credit for time served. Nawar was released from custody in June 27, 2022, in order to remain on supervised release until January 24, 2024. So he's actually not even in jail anymore now is what it is. Fucking disgusting. So Justine's family brought a lawsuit against the city of Minneapolis alleging violation of her civil rights, which the city settled for $20 million in 2019. Not enough. Not anywhere near enough.
Not enough. That piece of
Yeah.
shit Noir should be dead. He should have been
Oh, yeah.
executed.
Yep.
That was blatant fucking murder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it said Noir was a cop who shot Diamond. Noir's partner, Matthew Henry, who was 25 at the time, was the driver in their squad car. Noir had been loaded in the past by Minnesota Mayor Betsy Hodges, this fucking dumb bitch right here, and the local Somali community as one of the first Somali-American police officers in the area. At the time of the shooting, Noir had been with the Minnesota Police Department for less than 21 months. His partner, 25-year-old, had been with the force for only a year. In 2 years as a police officer, Noir had 3 formal complaints against him, 2 of which, in September 2017, were pending resolutions. They actually even been out on the fucking beat, by the way. It's in a separate case in May 2017. He was being sued for allegedly assaulting a woman while on duty, so he literally fucking sexually assaulted a woman, what it was there. In September 2018, he was reported that in 2015, 2 psychiatrists and other training officers had raised concerns about his fitness for police duty. 2 months before the shooting, Noir allegedly pointed a gun at the head of a driver he had pulled over for a minor traffic violation.
Oh yeah, this piece of shit should have been
literally in a
in
fucking
prison for
ground right
life.
now, dude. Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous, dude. And like I said, like, yeah, we have an actual stand your ground case in Daniel Perry's case there, and this fucking piece of shit Noir. While sitting in the fucking passenger seat, you got Justine at the fucking police officer's door, whatever, there on the other cop's side, that Matthew guy's side, and he just pulls a gun out and is like, bang, bang. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. If they get away with this shit and basically get slaps on their wrist and whatnot, but you defend your life from fucking domestic terrorists who are looking to do harm to you, and you get fucking 25 to life.
Yeah, exactly.
Please make that make sense to me.
It doesn't. That's the whole point. It doesn't and never will. And that's a serious situation of our society right now, is how fucked our justice system really is.
Yep. It's almost beyond repair.
I would say it's beyond repair at this point, honestly. Like, and I'm not saying that there's not, like, it all obviously depends too on that one, like exactly where you're at in any city in this country really is what it is. Like, if you're in a rural area and something happens, like, you're more likely to have an actual jury of your peers. If you're on some major city in this country, no, you're fucked. You're getting a jury of the left who are too dumb to get out of jury duty, and yeah, they're gonna completely fuck you. Or in some cases, they'll actually make sure that they get on the jury is what it is then. So that's why I'm actually shocked when it comes to the Rittenhouse verdict of how he was actually able to get off then, because, dude, there were at least a couple hardcore leftists on that jury. And I wonder if maybe it's because they outed themselves early enough to where they could be replaced, maybe. And that's why he was able to get like a fairer jury or a fairer trial is what it was then. So, but yeah, it's wild. It's wild how things are gone now. But yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before we have a complete societal collapse in this nation. And I hate to say that, but it's like, as I was saying in the beginning with this episode, I think we're definitely, or no, sorry, not this episode. The last grandstand I did about an hour or two ago, I think we're definitely headed towards tribalistic warfare in this country right now. And it's only a matter of time before that starts sparking off and having physical violence against each other is what it is then.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly what the powers that should not be want. They want us fighting amongst each other instead of fighting the real threat and the real problem, which is them.
Exactly. It's the greatest fucking division possible. It's the old divide and conquer strategy, and it's worked for centuries.
It's disgusting.
You know, it's like Honda likes to bring up all the time about the Roman Empire and stuff like that with the Visigoths and stuff. You know, they only fought for the Roman Empire until they weren't getting paid, and then they just started sacking the fucking city is what it was then.
Yep.
We're that close right now to that happening right now with all these illegals being brought into our country. It's like, how long until they start sacking our states and our fucking gold reserves and stuff like that is what it is then? Or
they already are.
Know? Exactly. In some cases, they very much are, yes.
They are here and they are robbing American citizens, breaking into their homes, stealing their goods, killing them. I mean, look at Laken Riley. Look at that 12-year-old.
Yeah,
I
Laken
can't
Riley.
remember her name. That 12-year-old that was murdered by an illegal immigrant that shouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more. I don't remember names like you do.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that one, honestly, offhand, because it depends on where it happened at.
I don't remember where it happened, but there was a 12-year-old child here recently, I think right around the same time as Laken, or it might have been a little before,
Larkin,
a little
yeah.
after, that was murdered by a piece of shit illegal immigrant.
Yeah. Well, we got some interesting ones here, actually. I just pulled up some news sites and see what's going on here for this whole thing. We got Florida House passes bill banning homeless from sleeping on public property. Then we got Pennsylvania man arrested for killing pregnant Amish woman and her unborn child. We got Maine residents furious over 13 million tax bill for Taj Mahal, where migrants want free rent. Or sorry, where they get free rent.
Say
Another
what
great
you
one,
just
actually.
said about the killing an unborn child. Say that part again, please.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Pennsylvania man arrested for killing pregnant Amish woman and her unborn child.
Okay, so why that brings up a news that just happened here recently, like very, very recently, that these cops made this woman that was pregnant and her son stand outside in 12-degree weather barefoot.
Yeah, it was January 6th.
While they raided the husband's home because he had January 6th connections, which is fucking retarded. But the next day she miscarried. Why are those cops not in prison for murder?
Yeah, I brought that whole thing up a couple days ago, actually, when I first heard that story.
No, my bad, man.
It's
I just saw that. What was it, yesterday or something?
Yeah, I know. I brought it up immediately as soon as I heard about it, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Why are these people not being charged with murder of an unborn child at this point? Because they literally forced this woman to miscarry by having her stand out barefoot in damn near negative degree weather is what it was.
Yep. And it's funny that you said that they arrested that one man for killing the Amish woman, her unborn child. It's funny that they'll arrest people for that type of murder, but yet abortion is legal.
Yeah, exactly.
And not considered murder.
Yeah. Yeah, as this story here out of Maine said residents in Maine are expressing their outrage over the state's plans to spend $13 million on constructing apartment complexes for illegal aliens, where some could be afforded up to 2 years of free rent. The apartment complex, decisively labeled as the Taj Mahal for illegals, took a lot of heat from residents in Brunswick during a February 20th city council meeting. So locals were upset over the fact that the same apartments that cost citizens between $1,800 and $2,300 a month were going to be handed out to illegals for free. Said, quote, "You have all these houses being built. That's discrimination in my eyes," Maine resident George Berner said to the Daily Mail. "Am I too white? Is that what it is? Do I work too much? That's the discrimination factor. How can you give free housing to anyone other than the Brunswick residents first?"
Yep, it's such bullshit. You're hearing more stories that these godforsaken, worthless fucking scum, illegal criminals are being afforded more rights and freedoms and money and anything they want over the American citizen. They are kicking homeless people out of places so they can house illegal criminals there.
Well, I think it's funny too is this is very much a you get what you vote for kind of policy thing, because if you notice a lot of these people, and I'm not saying all of them, I think there's some that obviously didn't, but there's a lot of people in Maine there that voted for that idiot Janet Mills in 2022 for governor a second time around, and you're seeing the consequences of that. You're seeing the consequences of voting for Democrats at this point, where you're allowing these fucking people to get a majority stance in your state or in your city council, whatever it is, doesn't matter, mayoralship, etc. there. And then you turn around a year later, 2 years later, whatever it is, and they're fucking you over. And it's like, what the hell did you think they were going to do when they told you while they were running for office? They're like, oh yeah, I'm pro illegal alien first and fuck all you people. Like, when they say this shit, believe them, because they're fucking telling you the truth. So anyway, his fellow resident Lisa Trumbley added that the state is neglecting the needs of tax-paying citizens and acting in favor of illegals. Quote, you need to take a look at the needs of the current residents. If we don't have a plan to take care of residents, we shouldn't be inviting these others to come here. No matter where they're coming from, we can't afford to do it. Said many of the brand new buildings were completed in 2023, and the first began taking residents in December of 2023. So this project was initially funded by a $6 million program, which the State Housing Authority, Maine Housing, initiated. It says migrants have already filled some of the building housing units. This is a plan even came to the attention of President Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., who blasted it while campaigning for his father. It said, quote, up in the part of the world, up in Maine, they are giving illegal aliens free housing, multi-million-dollar free housing, while they're kicking out veterans in the street. He said in a clip shared to the conservative Maine Wire, I mean, what's going on here? Said, meanwhile, Maine Housing points out that illegals will be required to pay 30% of their income in much reduced rent fees to get the job, if they get a job. Yeah, if they get a job, they'll pay 30% of the fucking shit. None of them are going to give you jobs, you jackasses. They're all here to fucking sponge up the fucking government is what it is. Kick them back the fuck out, dude. They don't provide anything for us in this country. They're a negative impact into our social benefit programs in this country across the board. They are the worst impact, actually. So, anyway. And then, of course, I do want to point this out since we are doing a Stand Your Ground episode today. J.D. Vance is apparently cucking for Bernie Moreno's dumbass right now, saying, quote, I have a long memory if you're fighting Trump and his endorsed candidates politically today. Don't ask for my help in a year with your legislation or your pet projects. And specifically, for those who don't know, Bernie Moreno, the jackass on the right here. You got Frank LaRose pointing out all the leftist shit that Biden, some people said, which meanwhile you got back in 2019, Bernie Moreno basically saying the same exact shit, including talking shit about gunners in this country, saying we should have universal background checks, saying if you actually want to have ARs and AKs, you're supposedly mentally ill and stuff. And it's like, yet this man's trying to run for U.S. Senate right now in the Republican primary of Ohio? I don't think so, buddy. Fuck yourself. So, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude, entirely, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. Like, Trump needs to do a better job before he endorses any of these morons anymore.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And actually do proper vetting and shit. So, instead, he's just going to sit here and fuck around is what it is. So, anyway.
I'm beyond sick of all the bullshit, dude.
Oh, let's see. We got another one here from Andy No that's coming out. Looks like another little alien did a shooting spree some kind of day, maybe.
Let's see. Another illegal
El Capone,
criminal?
San Diego County, in a deadly shooting story not getting much attention media-wise. Suspect Mohammed Abdelwakaram, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, is accused of opening fire on a dental office, killing a Jewish dentist and injuring two others. Police say that at this point, there is no indication that the shooting was, quote, racially or politically motivated, which means 100% is if he killed some Jewish dentist for being a Jewish guy.
Yep.
So the suspect allegedly escaped in a rented truck, but was captured later and arrested. Yeah, pretty sure some Islamic terrorist motherfucker going and offing some Jewish guy is 100% racially motivated, politically motivated.
Oh, 100%.
This is nothing more than some fucking Palestine, Israel shit on U.S. soil is what it is, dude.
Yep.
So,
and people like this, I don't care to say their stupid, retarded ass names because it's trying to give them.
Yeah, well, it's just another Muhammad is what it is. So.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying it's given their name, I guess, some sort of power, and it's voicing and it's just continuing to put it out there. They're just garbage human beings that don't need any kind of notoriety.
You know how you can tell if somebody's a leftist nut?
How?
You just look at the septum piercing in the nose.
Oh, yeah. Or the hair color.
Yeah, and they were asking, would you hire this person? This person's talking about going for job interviews and not being able to get anybody to call them back, whatever. It's like, well, maybe take all the junk out of your fucking face, kid.
Yeah,
You might
that's
get some
another thing that
back then.
pisses me off. There's been so many businesses I've gone
There's
to.
like 18 fucking piercings in this kid's nose, man, and face, mouth, etc. There.
That's
Got those
ridiculous.
gross ass ear gauges too, for that matter.
But like I was saying, I've been to so many businesses lately that you see people with these bullshit color hairs or these piercings all over their face. Tattoos are not as big of an issue, but it kind of is when you work for the public. You need to be dressed professionally. You need to have a natural color hair. You don't need to have all these bullshit piercings all over your face.
Yep.
It is not professional. I can't take someone serious that looks like that.
Somebody pointed out an interesting one here. This is apparently the most recent list of all the people that have been killed by illegal aliens in the past 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is now. Yes, in America, and you are no longer safe. In Joe Biden's America, names of victims allegedly killed by illegal aliens. And the pathetic part is the federal government doesn't even take a look at your screen, doesn't even keep track of the victims that are crimes that are committed by these fucking people. So you got Larkin Riley in Georgia, Jeremy Poe Carnis in Maryland, Francisco Javier Collier in Florida, Kaylee Hamilton in Maryland, Deputy Mike Hartwick in Florida, Maria Gonzalez in Texas, Carmen Yatella Navides Zalilis in Texas, Limber Lopez Fanina in Maryland, Melissa Powell in Colorado, Rodan Powell in Colorado. I'm guessing that was either husband and wife or mother and son, maybe. Then we got Sergeant Michael Konovich in Florida, Lisbeth Medina in Texas, another person named Javier or Horio Hernandez Sanchez in New York, Catalina Valdez Andre in Texas, Mariette Andre Bolaño in Texas, Diana Velasquez Alvarado in Texas, Juliana something or other in Texas was the last one on that one. So yeah, a bunch of people killed in Texas by illegals, dude. Fucking crazy. Not surprising though, since that is a border state, obviously. Yeah, as it says, import the third world, become the third world. Exactly. I like this one actually. No border, no taxes. I'm gonna go ahead and swipe that later for you goes what it is then. Let's see. Somebody else said now at 763 preventable deaths. Where's this one here? Let's see. 748. The death of 16-year-old. Okay, so it is mother and son. Roden Powell in 2023 could have been prevented. An alleged DUI illegal crashed his vehicle and killed this kid and his mother Melissa. The illegal had 4 prior DUI convictions, was deported in 2009, 2012, 2014, and 2015, so broke into our country at least 5 different times then. It said he was sentenced to probation, community service, and work release rather than be deported 4 days before allegedly killing this Rodan kid and his mom. The kid was known as a vibrant spirit and presence he brought to his high school. He stood out from the crowd due to his exceptional intelligence, natural skill, and will to succeed. His classmates and teachers admired him for his admirable personality and contagious smile. He was a bright and promising young individual with a passion for learning. Yeah, fucking disgusting, man. And then his mother was 749 on the list. Death of Melissa Powell in 2023 could have been prevented. An alleged DUI illegal going 80 to 100 miles an hour, T-boned her vehicle, killing her and her 16-year-old son. So the illegal had 4 prior DUIs, was deported in 2009, 2012, 2014, 2015, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing there. So Melissa always had a smile on her face, could laugh at anything because of her capacity to accept and welcome others without any form of prejudice or reservation. She became a reserved person in the communities in which she lived. Melissa's entire being thrived on an act of spreading love Yeah, fucking disgusting, dude. It's just infuriating is what it is. And then people wonder why we got Civil War trending. Let's see what they got for Civil War trending here now. Let's see. People are saying, can we get real about Trump? Talking about Trump creating Civil War because they're fucking retarded. Let's see. Somebody else said, not just a Civil War, maybe even World War III. Farmer issues stern warning to Biden. Resign before causing civil war. Law-abiding gun owners, not the issue. Protect Second Amendment. Upholds right to self-defense. We will resist tyranny. Exactly. Read that now. Yeah, leftists are trending Civil War if Trump wins. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good luck with that, people. Good fucking luck with that. Yeah. Yeah, and as somebody pointed out here, they call the guy on the left a newcomer and the guy on the right the greatest threat to our country since the Civil War. We're taking Nancy Pelosi's fucking podium. Got the guy on the left literally murders a girl in Georgia. Remember her name. It was Larkin Riley. So, anyway. Wow. This person's just straight up threatening Civil War here is what it is.
Lovely.
Clown asses, man. Oh, yeah, this Dick Smoke is talking about fighting against Lauren Boebert for the congressional seat. Fucking idiot.
I don't know if
What's that? You're going in and out real bad. Jesus. Fucking people trying to use Harriet Tubman to vote for Democrats. Like, good God, man.
I don't know if you heard what I just said.
No, you were cutting in and out like crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I lose signal or not. I have to run an errand and I'm on the move.
No, you haven't been talking for like the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's because I was
yeah,
responding to some text. My wife wanted me to run an errand for her while she was asleep. Okay, and I was texting a person who I'm getting some dog kennels from. And so I'm on my way to pick those up.
Well, this is very interesting. According to this Alex Jones video, it says, quote, Biden declares all Trump supporters to be terrorist threats in official government documents. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, no, we're not. What you are, Biden, is you're the fucking terrorist threat, buddy. You are a literal cheater in this fucking country. You stole a fucking presidency. You have committed high treason at least 150 fucking times that we know about at this point. If not more. It's probably more like about 400 times now. What's that?
His whole administration has.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
They're the domestic terrorists that is a threat to our constitutional republic because we're not a democracy.
Yeah. And then, as I talked about here a couple of days ago about the possibility of Democrats starting to do political assassinations on people, I think we've already seen it happen now because you have Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, Angela Chow's car crash death is now being investigated as a crime, according to CNBC. Texas authorities stated this was not a typical accident. So yeah, her vehicle apparently like got smashed up or ran off the road somehow or something like that.
I saw that today. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back and her brake line was cut.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking nuts, man. Pretty fucking nuts. So. Yeah, we're heading towards bad times in this country for sure, and
We're already in them, brother. We're already in them.
well, I'm saying even worse than previously seen.
I know what you're getting at. I know what you're saying.
And yeah, I think we're definitely just it's we are in a very, very slippery slope right now to a point where you actually have people just start murking each other out is what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have shit like this coming out now, which is in the Chicago area. You got Chicago's 9th Ward Alderman Tony Beale says illegal aliens, especially Venezuelans, are receiving vouchers for $9,000 a month for housing, food, dispensable cash, etc. Migrants are organizing gangs, driving cars, and carrying guns. This insanity won't stop until this horrendous migrant issue personally touches each and every one of our lives.
That infuriates me. Oh my god, dude! Because you have literally American citizens suffering right now, trying to work their ass off and kill themselves, try to make money to pay their bills, food, and their need, and we're making it by senses. We're not. A lot of people aren't, but yet you got
roboting like crazy,
godforsaken bunch of scum getting free money.
Yep. Yeah, and it's
getting
just,
free health care.
Yeah. And like I said before, it makes you wonder, like, what's the point anymore? Like, and I said this I honestly said this years ago to my mom. I was like, what's the point of you being good anymore? Why don't we just break bad? And she like looks dead me. She looked at me dead in the face. And she's like, you know what? You're probably right at this point. So,
well, those people that are bad and evil that have all this money and everything, they've gotten their earthly rewards. People like I'm a Christian, and I believe that our reward and whatever you want to call it is waiting for us in heaven.
Yeah, well, maybe.
That they're just evil.
I don't know.
And the devil is giving them everything they want and stuff because their souls are already lost and claimed by him, and they'll be in hell.
Yeah.
But that's my personal belief, and I'm not trying to, press it upon anybody or anything.
I know. I'm just making a point is what it is though about,
Oh no, I agree. I've asked that to my wife. Even though I'm a Christian, I've asked that to my wife. I said, "What is the point of being good anymore? Why should Americans pay taxes anymore when our tax money is going to fund bullshit fucking wars that we don't want no part of, and our tax money is going to these criminals that are here illegally and committing crimes, but they're getting everything that we should be getting."
Exactly. Yeah, and I think a lot more people are thinking on those lines right now of what's the point? And that's the sad fact of the matter is that if we have enough people that start thinking in that kind of manner, it's only a matter of time, in a very short manner of time, that you're going to see complete societal collapse happen.
Yeah, just to be clear, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything or anything. I'm just voicing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. It's just frustration.
Basically redressing my grievances. I'm just voicing words. I'm not saying anything negatively or nefarious or anything like that. It just, you got to make that shit clear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've had to do it several times on this channel before, so you're good. So, but no, yeah, for real though, it's a bunch of bullshit in what it is, man. And you have people who just want to actively fuck our nation over, and fuck over the people in this nation, the good people of this nation, for their own ends. It's like today we had it was a mix of U.S. and Jordan people dropping aid into Gaza now, like aid trucks and stuff.
Why?
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. They're terrorists. Why?
Yeah.
They're the ones that decided to go bomb in, Paraguay. paraglide into a concert in Israel and kill countless people.
Yeah, bunch of innocent
because
women
they're
and children.
evil terrorists.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've said this before about Nick Fuentes. Like, this kid, honestly, he does have some good like point of views and stuff on certain topics and stuff. But then I was watching some stuff last night, and he's like sitting there talking about like, oh, and this is why I back fucking Palestine over Israel. And it's like, or you could just back neither one, dude. Like, there's obviously that option. Is just stay the fuck out of all the shit is what it is.
Well, I fully support aid and everything to Israel because as a Christian, Israel is God's chosen people. And it states in the Bible, you know, if you're against Israel, I'm not going to go into it, but anyway, as a Christian, I fully back Israel. I may not agree with some of the shit they were doing, and I don't support those, you know, bad decisions or anything like that, or the, you know, the evil ones that are, you know, like wolf in sheep clothing and stuff. But as a whole, I back Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a video here a few weeks ago where they were talking about, I think it was Rothschild, actually, when he was still alive, and this was back in like the 70s or 80s or something, where he was actually discussing how it was him and Bilderberg were the ones that actually helped create Israel as a country. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, anyway, that being said, I think that's about where we're at for today, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one because I think Duke is going to be starting his chat here pretty quickly if he hasn't done so already. So I don't know when I cork him out or whatever the case be, but
right.
Yeah, I'll be back here sometime in the next couple of days or so, probably to do something else. I'm not sure exactly what yet. Only time will tell. But yeah, we'll be doing some things, some stuff, and some other things. So whenever that happens, we'll get some stuff going and whatnot. So
yeah, it's always good to do things and stuff and things.
Yeah, have a good one, y'all. We'll
later, guys.
Like I said, I'll be doing. Well, obviously our schedule will remain the same. We'll be doing Buckshot Thursday, Freedom Friday, Thursday, Friday. I'll probably do a grandstand here at some point this coming week. I'll be doing on my Lily Anarchy channel. I'll be doing a stream for gaming chat again. I did a few of those already this week, so most likely sometime next week or so.
And always carry.
Yep, and that's the thing. Stay strapped. Don't get clapped, because you never know who's coming after you is. And if you're you're going to go into a bad part of a city or a town or whatever the case be, make sure that you are always armed
and recording,
and ready to roll. So
make sure you record everything so that way you have video evidence because it may be crucial.
Exactly. Carry a body cam would be the best advice we can give to anybody right now.
Yep, dash cams front and rear.
So
can't be too safe.
Yep. So yeah, definitely. And if you know you're going to be in a bad part of a city, always be carrying a spare mag or two with you because you never know, man. You never know what's going to happen. Could be the difference between life and death on that one. So
very true.
Anyway,
people don't understand that in a stressful defense situation like that, you may think you only used fired a couple of rounds when in fact you may have emptied the whole mag.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't realize how quickly you can mag dump in many cases with many of these guns these days.
Yep.
So, and you may have to do that actually, unfortunately, because it may be you versus an entire group of people for that matter. Just like Daniel Perry found out when he was him versus Garrett Foster in the group of Antifa and BLM terrorists that night.
Yeah. I pray that never happens to anyone, but the sad reality is it does happen.
Yep.
So I just pray everyone to stay safe.
Yeah. And my best advice is before summer 2024, if you live in a major city, get out of it right now while you still can, because you never know what's going to happen. And I think the closer that we get towards the time of election cycles, the worse and worse it's going to get for anybody in these places, especially if you have any kind of right-leaning viewpoint that is not some leftist shit show. So
you could be in the middle as like a libertarian, and you're still on the quote unquote enemy list of the left.
exactly, and that's the problem right there. So yeah, best advice is just, if you can, get out of the areas, get the fuck out while you still can, even if it means breaking your leases and stuff like that, because it's better for you to be safe and be with friends than be unsafe, because it doesn't matter how many guns you have at that point. If it's you versus enough of a mob, they're obviously going to overwhelm you eventually. So I personally would much rather be with buddies, with friends, with compatriots, with like-minded people, than being with a bunch of leftist nuts in a place where I'm the only person that's not a leftist nut. So
Yeah, it brings a compelling argument for compounds in the middle of the woods.
Yep. Or at very least, armed groups anyway.
Yeah, you can always call it ranch, RANCH, Havidians. Wordplay.
Anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sorry.
we'll be back. We'll be back later. Have a good one, everybody.
Later. Yeah, I was just trying to be funny, man.